Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We are continuing our squad previews for the T20 World Cup. In this episode, we'll be looking at the Pakistan team, the most unpredictable team. But this Pakistan team is it's a cup team. They when it comes to the big tournaments, they always arrive. They cause problems for other teams. They're in and around those semi-final finals. We've seen like in bilaterals and stuff, they do lose games. They win some games. They're very inconsistent. We saw a really good example of that in the warm-up. They beat defending champions West Indies, and then they lost to South Africa after having the game in their grasp. So that's the Pakistan team. Very inconsistent, but in World Cups they can be very dangerous. So once they get that flow going, once the bowlers start hitting those line-in lengths, their batsmen get that bat moving. It's very difficult to stop them, no matter what the conditions. And this is UAE. This is their second home. They played here, in the PSL. They played here for Pakistan. They know these conditions inside and out, and I think that's a big advantage for them. And this team is a solid team. I like the look of the squad. You can say maybe missing a big hitter or like a proper fast bowler like Amir, but overall I think the squad, if they gel together, it's a difficult team to beat. They might go under the radar. There's not like, of course they have Babar Azam, but I think there's a good mix of experience and youth over there, and it's not going to be an easy team to beat. I feel that these guys can go all the way, semi-finals, finals, or even win the tournament if they play to their potential. And that's a big if, because with Pakistan, you never know what's going to happen. And I'm not too worried even if they lose to India in the first game, or if they win against India. Like for them, the tournament starts after a couple of games, and even if it's do and die, Pakistan are still always going to be in it. And I think they'll cause problems for plenty of teams. The major challenges for me would be the group itself, India and Afghanistan, because there's quality spinners in those teams as well. So Pakistan will have to handle that. They do play spin well, but the the quality of spinners can trouble these batsmen. And their bowlers against subcontinent batsmen as well. It's a hit and miss. It could sometimes work, sometimes not work. So that's something that Pakistan will look at. The bowling is definitely experienced, very strong. The likes of Shaheen Shah, Hassan Ali, Imad Wasim, Shadab Khan, Haris Rauf, these guys are bowling really well. I would just say that the issue with them is the death bowling. I think opening the bowling, Imad Wasim comes in, bowls, even in the middle over, Shadab will come. I don't think they have much issue. The problem is death bowling. Hassan Ali and Haris Rauf have been very expensive in the warm-up games. I think Shaheen Afridi has been really good, and they have to learn from him, because he doesn't just try to bowl the Yorker. He bowls a slower one as well. He bowls the cutter, then he mixes it up with the Yorker. I think that's something what Haris Rauf needs to do. Sometimes he's a bit too one-dimensional. He needs to use a bit more variations at the death. Not too much, but you know what I mean. And then I think their batting is very nicely poised. They have Babar Azam, this one, and always in sizzling form. Fakhar Zaman can come and be very aggressive. I like how he's playing one down. He's an opener, but I like this role they've kept for him. And then you have Hafiz and Malik stabilizing the ship, relaxing, making sure there's no issues. And then Asif Ali, Imad Wasim, and Shadab to come and tonk it. So the batting order looks good to me. I think it looks solid. You also have Heather Ali on the bench. He can come in if you need to rest the likes of Malik or Hafiz. But I think this would be the 11. I'll just go through the ideal 11. Babar Azam and Rizwan to open the batting. Fakhar Zaman, 1 down. Hafiz, 2 down. Malik, 3 down. Shoaib Malik, 3 down. And then Asif Ali, 4 down. Imad Wasim, Shadab Khan, Hassan Ali, Shaheen Shah, Afridi, and Haris Rauf. That would be my combination going into that first game against India. And I think this is the strongest team. Of course, you can always replace players. There's no issues just to fit the system. But I think they need one thing that they're probably missing is a backup fast bowler, like a proper. They have Mohammad Wasim there. They have a few bowlers, but I would have gone with someone like a Naseem Shah just to keep in the squad. A surprise factor. Pace will always trouble you. It doesn't matter which format you're playing. It'll always trouble a batsman. So I would just keep him. In some games, just come and unleash him. And I think that's something that they're missing, an extra fast bowler. Too much dependency on Haris Rauf, I think, to play every game. But that's one area that I thought they would have strengthened. But I think apart from that, Shoaib Malik coming into the squad with Hafiz, that brings a lot of composure in that middle order. And both of them have the ability to strike big as well. So it's good. And sometimes, especially in these conditions, it's not required to go 10, 12 and over. Sometimes you just need to go 6, 7 and over, 8 and over. So I think these guys will make sure that they play according to the run rate rather than just go hit out. That's why experienced players are necessary in this team. The strength lies at the top. Babar Azam, he's in impeccable, imperious form. He's batting wonderfully. His timing is outstanding, and he's just a class batsman. I think this will be, the tournament where everyone has their eyes on Babar Azam. He's the player for me to watch out for in this whole tournament. He's 27, I think, reaching the peak of his career, and I think this will be a defining tournament for him. He's already proved himself in different matches, but I think this is the tournament where I think he'll take that limelight. And but his captaincy will be interesting. I think as a captain, there's been flaws. He's made some mistakes. Sometimes in crunch situations, he's done something wrong in the bowling changes or in the field placements. He hasn't kept his calm. So that's something that Pakistan will have to look at. I would have ideally kept Rizwan as captain, but fair enough, you keep your best player captain. But hopefully he can be guided by the likes of Hafiz and Malik, and they can take Pakistan forward to success in this tournament. But his captaincy, I'll keep an eye on. And as a batsman, of course, everyone's going to watch him. World-class batsman, right up there amongst the best batsmen in the world for sure. So he's the player to watch out for me as the for batting for me. And bowling for me, it's Imad Wasim. I know there's plenty of fast bowlers there. Shaheen Shah is excellent. Hassan Ali has experience, but Shadab is also there as a spinner. But Imad Wasim, I think he's someone who can bowl in the middle overs. He can bowl in the death overs. He can bowl with the new ball as well. I think new ball will be crucial. Trying to hold one end up, and if he can pick up a wicket while doing so, it'll be excellent. His economy, I think, in the last 2 games has been ranging between 3 and 5, so excellent economy rate for Imad Wasim. On top of that, he's picking up a couple of wickets in these pitches. When there's a hint of trim, he becomes difficult to pick because suddenly it rips off the surface, his delivery. So for me, he's the bowler to watch out for, definitely. And if you look at the group, they have India, they have Afghanistan, they have New Zealand, and then 2 more qualifiers to come through. It's not going to be an easy group. That India game, hopefully they will be looking to break the curse against India. That would be a big game for them, if they can start off with a win. But even if they lose that, then they still can beat New Zealand. They can still beat Afghanistan. They still have, chances to qualify. So I think they should just take that India game. They shouldn't take it as seriously as they normally do in terms of be so pumped up for it. I think they take it as a regular game. If you win, amazing. If you lose, it's okay. You still have a chance, and go with that mindset. And I think Pakistan can go far in this tournament. I think semi-finals. If there's no upset from Afghanistan, for me, that's a dark horse. But I think if this was in Australia, I would probably pick New Zealand over Pakistan. But because it's in the UAE, I don't know. I just feel these conditions suit Pakistan better, and I think they will probably qualify for the semi-finals. And but yeah, like I said, you can't predict with this team, so there's no point predicting. But hopefully they have a good tournament. India Pakistan final would always be a fun one, but definitely they're playing on Sunday, the first game for both of them. That's going to be an exciting game. We'll get you the preview for that as well. But thank you so much for joining me and looking at this Pakistan squad. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel and comment with your thoughts. Who you think should be the combination for Pakistan? Who are their star players? And where you think they can improve on. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you like and subscribe, like I said. Thank you.